Okay, usually how when we want to improve our mother tongue language, we usually go and get tuition in Singapore. Well, today I have me someone that went all the way to Taiwan to improve on the Chinese. Welcome to today's podcast. All right, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Okay, so I have me a very special guest today. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi everyone. 大家好，我是 Sharmaine.
Whoa!
Okay, no flex. Okay, no flex. Anyway, I'm Sharmaine and I am 24 this year, same as Pierre.
Hey, you're not supposed to reveal my age, dude.
Sorry. I thought after 20 it didn't matter anymore.
After 21, it didn't matter.
Yeah, I was the one who I went to Taiwan to study Mandarin, and then here I am back in Singapore. Yeah, so a little something about myself. I am actually an MC or a host, a live stream host, or any kind of host, basically events, games, shows. So
Basically, if you need a host.
yes.
Okay, I'm going to put her like... Do I put her Instagram or what?
Yes, my Instagram.
Okay, so her
name
Instagram will be here. And then in the links lah.
Yes, Sharmaine
Yeah.
Lee Pui Pui. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's
So,
about it.
why do you go to Taiwan to improve your Chinese when you could have done it in Singapore?
Oh, okay. So the thing is that there was one day I was hosting at the Singapore Food Fair at Expo. Okay, back in 2018 or 2019.
Okay, before
probably.
COVID.
Yeah, basically. So I was asked to do a bilingual hosting because, food fair, right? Like
Okay.
aunties and uncles. So I said, yeah, sure, go ahead. Like in Chinese, in secondary school and primary school, my Chinese were like A's and B's, never a C.
Damn.
So I was like, you know what? Bilingual 就是我了. So I went ahead, but on the day itself, okay, but the thing is that before that day, I prepared myself, okay, like all the Chinese vocabularies that I needed. I wrote it all down on my script, like pointers form. But when I was there, I was stumbling and fumbling upon my words. And at the end of the day, the manager told me, like, 你不要做了. Just do English. Just forget about Chinese.
What?
Yeah, because he said, like, you really cannot make it. So I was like, okay, then I cannot make it. So I was a little disheartened already.
Yeah.
Right? But then when I was hosting in English the entire time, there were a bunch of like aunties and uncles walking in front of me. And they were like, 哇，这个女的不会讲中文的，假干当耶, right in front of my face. So I felt so terrible.
My gosh.
Yeah. And then I went to the toilet during one of the times, and then I heard someone from the other booth talking about me. Like they were talking between themselves. They were saying, 你有没有看到那个女的在隔壁？她没有讲中文，这里那么多 auntie uncle 不会讲中文啊？ Huh? Then like 假干当 again.
Oh my gosh.
So,
That's so harsh.
right, but I guess if they don't know, then they don't know law. So I realized that I can't do Chinese, even though I thought I could do Chinese. So
Yeah.
if I wanted to really host bilingually, I have to think about this, really think about this. So I decided that, what's the fastest way to learn Chinese? Go to
the land where it originated. Sorry, that's China. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. But the thing was that I was debating between China and Taiwan.
Okay.
But I don't know why. I was signing up for Beijing at first.
Yeah.
But then I just didn't feel a peace somehow before I submitted the form. So
Yeah.
I looked at my other options, which were Shanghai, Xi'an, Ximen, Guangzhou.
Xi'an is in Taiwan or in China?
China. Oh wait, maybe there wasn't Xi'an. Xiamen, sorry. Xiamen,
Xiamen.
Guangzhou, and Taiwan. Something like that. Basically, there were 4 options of China and 1 option of Taiwan. So I've always loved
Yeah.
Taiwan.
Okay.
Dream of living in Taiwan. So I was like, you know what? I'll just go to Taiwan then. So I went to Taiwan at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I felt at peace when I was submitting my form.
Okay.
And then when I went there, 2 weeks before I went there,
Yeah.
Beijing went on full lockdown
For
in 20
COVID.
yeah in 2019. Then I was
my.
like, whoa, if that is not like some God sign or what,
Yeah.
then I don't know what is, right?
Yeah.
So I went there. 2 weeks later in Taiwan, the entire earth went on lockdown. But I was in Taiwan for
Yeah.
an entire year without mask on.
Wait,
And
why? Because
they,
Taiwan had zero infection rates or something, is it?
yes, like zero, entirely zero. Yeah,
Oh.
so I was traveling a lot within the country and I wasn't wearing a mask unless I was in a high-end mall or, on the train.
Okay.
So I decided, you know what? In Singapore, if I talk to my friends, I'm probably just gonna switch to English like that.
Yeah.
So I decided, you know what? Just go to a country where full on Chinese, so I don't have a choice but to speak in Chinese.
So basically, you went to. So what do you study in Taiwan?
Literally Chinese, like Mandarin, like 你我我们 vocabulary.
Okay, can you walk us through like? Well, yeah. Can you walk us through some of the things that you learned? Because you went there to learn Chinese itself, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, how was it? Okay, number one, I think the biggest question I have is how is it? How is it different from our local Chinese classes?
Oh, actually no difference. Okay, not say no difference, but I went to the classes. So in my course, I can pick like you want to learn more writing or you want to learn more speaking
Yeah.
or you want to learn more reading. So in the beginning, I went for more reading.
Okay.
Yeah, but at the same time, they had conversational topics. So in every class, you will learn a couple of words, and
Yeah.
then there will be topics for you to converse in Mandarin with.
So was it like our? You know how I think in secondary school we had this oral exam.
Ah,
Is it something like that?
not really.
Okay.
It's just that we learn a bunch of vocabulary for today,
Yeah.
and then the teacher is like, okay, here are some questions to discuss about today. So we are kind of like sharing our lives, but in Mandarin.
Using those vocabularies.
Yes, we try to use those vocabularies. So it's kind of like Singapore in your daily class, but I guess. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Like when I say this kind of experiences, my friends and people around me or relatives, they would say like, why you go there and waste your time when all your life you have been studying this?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So I feel very disheartened at first, but then I don't know if you're in Singapore, you would probably speak English with your friends after a while, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, I did get a lot of questions back, like, why you go there and waste money
Like when you came back or when you were going there?
before I went there?
Oh.
Yeah, they're like, why you waste money? Singapore also can, what, huh? You one whole life waste money in secondary school and primary school, then now you won't spend, like, I don't know how much money to go overseas to
Yeah.
learn something that you have learned all your life. What a shame to your mother tongue.
No, but you're going there to improve yourself. What? Why is it a shame to your mother tongue?
well, you can ask them why they
Hey,
ask
excuse me. Why is it a shame?
this kind of questions.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, that's how I improved my Mandarin, I guess. Like speaking with the locals, speaking with friends and my classmates. Yeah.
Were your classmates? So where? Cause it's a Chinese class, right? So I'm assuming that your classmates were international students as well.
Yes, 100% international students. But my teacher is Taiwanese.
So if you all didn't understand a certain word, how would she explain it to you guys? Would she use English?
No, she would use Chinese to explain, which was like kind of difficult for those international students, but
Yeah.
not really difficult for me. But it helped me, understand how to explain things in Mandarin better, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, like for example, they often ask questions like, oh, is this word a noun or an adverb? I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never heard of a noun or adverb in
There's such a thing in
or
Chinese.
verb in Chinese, right?
Wait, is that actually?
So verb is 动词.
Oh.
Yeah, and then noun I think is
Noun.
名.
Noun.
noun. I think it's 名词 if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's about it, I guess.
So what were the considerations you... Wait, so essentially you going to Taiwan was purely because of what happened at that expo?
Yes, correct. That was the main push for me. Because if I wanted to, host full time,
Yeah.
and I can tell them that I can do bilingual, I
Yeah.
have to do something about it. And
Yeah.
the fastest and best way is to go to a country to immerse myself in the language itself.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say that I improved until those professional Chinese people. But I think I did pretty. I mean, compared to before, it was quite a great improvement. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. But how was life like in Taiwan for a year?
It was great. It was fantastic. Like, I traveled a lot.
Yeah.
I talked to the locals a lot, and just Taiwan was just a very friendly and fun place to be. Yeah, and it was a great experience, except for like visa and all that stuff.
Okay, let's talk about that for a while.
I am telling you, Taiwan is so dated. You have no idea. When you go to the bank to, I guess, open a bank account in Singapore, tell me, what do you do, Pierre, if you want to open a bank account?
I just go there and tell them I want a bank account. And then they help me settle everything. Essentially, right?
Just like that,
Yeah,
right?
right.
So what are the documents that you think you would have to provide for them?
My IC?
Okay. Anything else?
I have no idea.
Nothing, right? Okay, these
yeah.
days, you can just go onto your app or your website to open a bank account.
Oh, I did not know I
Oh, you
could
did
do
not
that.
know that.
Okay.
Okay, now you know, right? In
Yeah.
5 minutes, you can open a bank account.
Yeah.
In Taiwan, oh my goodness, I took 1 hour to open my bank account because I needed my passport. I needed a school document. I needed so many different documents, and I needed to sign,
Okay.
and I needed a stamp with my name on it. Like,
So you had to go and make a stamp with your name on it.
exactly.
Dude, is it a Chinese thing?
I have no idea. I'm like, why do I need so many things to open a bank account
Yeah.
in Taiwan?
Yeah.
I was triggered to the core of my existence. Okay. So that's one example.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. And then there's like the whole visa thing. There was once where my photo didn't fit their measurement. I mean, I thought ID photos were all the same, right? And I went all the way to the center to submit it. But at the end of the day, they're like, no, sorry, cannot. You go back. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, sian. Then I went back, prepared the documents in it again, and then I went there again.
But this was
then
in Singapore.
in Singapore. But in Taiwan, it happened
Again.
as well. Okay, not the ID photo side, but there was once I was applying for this thing called the Alien Residence Certificate or something like that. Basically, if you want a long-term visa in another country, you need this thing called Alien Residence
How
card.
long term is long term? 1 year.
Yeah, about 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went there and I wrote down an emergency contact number, which was my friend's contact number. I had the name and like the mobile number there.
Okay.
And apparently it didn't work. Okay, so I was applying, right?
Yeah.
It was already my second day there because the first day I forgot some document again. It was already my second day there and I went there. And my friend was literally beside me, okay?
Oh, your friends are like local.
No, foreigner as well.
Okay.
But it was just a friend, right?
Like your classmate or?
Schoolmate. He was also applying for the ARC.
Okay.
So the staff was like, could you please write an emergency contact? Then I said, can I write him? Then he's like, oh yeah, sure. So I'm like, okay, please write down your name and your contact number, right? So he wrote it down. And then he was like, okay, thank you. So 1 week later, my friend had an email saying that, oh, your ARC is ready. But I didn't receive my ARC, so I was wondering, like, where's my email, right? Then I went to find out. I went to call them, and then they said, oh, you have to come down if you haven't had any, like, email or anything. So
Okay.
I went down to the same place, which is pretty far.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, your emergency contact number, like, you didn't write it down.
Huh?
You didn't write it down? The staff told me to write it down over
Okay.
here, right here,
Yeah.
with this friend over here. And then he was like, yeah, please write it down now. So I wrote it down again, like another person's number this time. another foreigner. Okay, I wrote down her contact number. I sent it. I gave it back to him, and he's like, "Okay, come back a week later to see if it's confirmed." I spent 2 weeks, and I just came there just to write a name and a number. Are you kidding me?
That's honestly quite inefficient.
Exactly, right?
It took you 2 weeks to get your alien resident visa.
Exactly. That's so
No,
ridiculous, right?
man. Yeah.
That was just the tip of the iceberg, basically. But all the administrative stuff, this is like kind of the bulk of it. You know, how this thing works is that
Wow.
they're super dated. They don't accept they don't really accept like pay waves. They only accept cash.
Still.
Yes.
But this was like 2 years ago, right?
Yes. I had a coin pouch wherever I went. I had cash wherever I went, which was a huge struggle for me when I went to Taiwan. Everywhere I went, I was like, oh, pay wave, or like pay by card, whatever. But nobody accepted me. And even online, when I talked about it on my YouTube channel,
Which
people in
is
the
link here and in the description box.
if you'd like to know more about Taiwan,
Yeah, she did a whole series while she was there.
yeah. Then the comments were saying that, oh, you're having a bad habit. You know, you should have cash wherever you
Why?
go. I'm like, no, that's a perfect habit. I have no idea. They say like, you're just you shouldn't trust the government with your money.
I'm sorry, they do put their money in their banks, right?
Yeah. So I really don't get it.
But these people, like the people that commented, are locals or
Yeah, they commented in Chinese. Like, you shouldn't be
they
putting
really
your card
they really
there.
don't like their government.
You have no idea how much they talk about politics every single day. It's like their day-to-day conversations. It's
Even
all-
among the young adults and the youths.
I think so. That I'm not too sure.
But among the older generation.
Yeah, politics every single day. In my even my teacher, when we talk about conversations, her topic was always around government
Wow.
and politics.
Like the Taiwan government or the China government?
They would talk about both, and then they would like flame the China government,
Yeah.
but they'll laugh it off like it's a joke. Like, hey, no, don't take it too seriously. But I'm like, girl.
Yeah, don't take it too seriously.
I
Big
told-
Brother is watching.
Yeah, I'm like, girl, I can tell that you're flaming them. So, what are you thinking, right?
Wow. Okay. But I'm completely shocked at the fact that they do not accept card payment.
I know, right?
It is so 老土.
Exactly, that is the word to sum up my Taiwan, I guess, administrative side. The not so fun side is that 老土.
Yeah.
Very dated. Even the building. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I lived in, you know, the typical Taiwan houses.
Does it look like exactly like the Taiwanese drama?
Ye-
Where the building is made of grey coloured tile, like
yes.
concrete.
Yes. Like 5 floors.
Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, I'm very particular about interior design. So
Yeah.
I had to pick one with like dry shower, nice interior. So I managed to pick one that was pretty nice. But 5th floor, their piping had some problem on the 5th floor.
Okay.
And then one day I went home. Outside my toilet, I saw a big hole in the wall. They literally knocked down the brick wall to fix the pipe on the 5th floor.
And you're staying on which floor?
3rd floor.
I'm so shouldn't they knock down the wall on the 5th floor?
Exactly. They knocked down every single house's floor. Wall. So I'm like, this is some next level 老土.
I think they're just trying to identify where the clock was.
I guess. But yeah, don't throw your toilet paper in the toilet bowl too. It will get clogged very
Is it just in
easily.
Taiwan or also in Singapore?
In Taiwan. But I think it's quite normal overseas. Yeah. That's what I've learned too.
Wait, okay, honest question. Then when you use a toilet paper, what do? You throw into the dustbin in the toilet?
Yes.
My toilet doesn't have a dustbin.
So you have to put one dustbin in the toilet. So
fine.
it's kind of gross actually. In the public toilets, you would see like nasty trashes beside you when you pee, you know. The cleanest toilet, pro tip, the cleanest toilet in Taiwan.
It's your own toilet.
No, it's not even your own toilet, you know, sometimes.
What?
Okay, for me, it was kind of like my toilet, but also the Sogo malls, the Taipei 101 mall, and the MRT's mall. The MRT's toilet.
Wait, the MRT toilet is actually clean.
Yes, very clean.
That's the exact opposite of Singapore's
I know,
MRT
right?
toilet.
I know, right? So, yeah, just pro tip, okay? If you want clean toilets.
Wow, okay. Okay, so then what about because you mentioned like you were kind of working in Taiwan, right?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I was doing a part-time job.
Whether or not it was
Whether or not it was legal.
legal is a different story.
That's right.
Yeah, but how was it like working in Taiwan?
I was working for a foreigner, actually. He was selling falafel, which is
So he was Turkish.
he was Israeli, but he was selling Turkish food,
Okay.
I guess. Yeah. Hummus, pita bread,
Wow.
falafel.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it. I was frying falafels and everything. Yeah. It was okay, but oh, so dirty.
As in, what do you mean by dirty?
Like cockroaches and all. I know, right? But it's a common sight in Taiwan. During summer, there's so many cockroaches and they are humongous, like fat and long.
With wings?
Yes.
Oh
They
my
flying, they
gosh.
flying. Like Singapore's one, but
Oh,
fatter.
but they're flying the restaurant.
Okay, in the restaurants, they were all babies. But still, like, in Singapore, you probably get a C grade.
Yeah,
Or,
exactly.
like, you cannot even function. But over there, he just like he saw the cockroach. My boss saw the cockroach, and he was just like, "Oh, nothing." He just like swiped it away, or like acted like it wasn't there. I'm like, no, that is not okay, right? I don't even dare to eat the falafel. But I mean, okay, honestly, the falafel is pretty good.
You said that because you are the one frying it.
No, the hummus was good too. Okay, so this boss, he creates everything from scratch.
Oh.
Yeah, so.
True to his roots.
Mm-hmm. But the pay was very low. It was about, I would say, Singapore $5 to $6 per hour.
That's very okay. But what is the standard of living like in Taiwan though?
Oh, it's very low actually. If you eat like 卤肉饭, it's probably about $2 to $3.
Luro fan is braised pork rice.
Yes, braised pork rice.
Okay.
Braised pork rice.
Yeah, there's no
But it's
past
about-
tense of pork.
Yeah, sorry. Porked up. Someone told me in the comments in YouTube that, hey girl, you went back to Singapore and you were porked up. I'm like, you rude person. Okay.
What?
I know, right? People can be so mean sometimes. But anyway, the 卤肉饭 is usually about this size.
Okay.
It only fills you if you're eating 2 bowls.
So let's say one bowl is about
25 NTD, which is about, oh sorry, it's about $1.50.
wait, one bowl is $1.50. That's actually quite okay though. Like $3.
Yeah, but if you're eating like 卤肉饭, if you eat beef noodles, for example, it's about $6 to $7.
And that's not very cheap.
Yeah, I guess average hawker center Singapore price.
Actually,
So
then it means that the standard of living there is
it's very low, actually.
depends on what you eat.
Yeah, correct. But I heard their usual pay is about 2,300 for
For full time
yeah,
working
office
adult.
worker. Yeah. So
That's not very high.
yeah,
actually.
not very high. But I mean, their stuff are cheap, so
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. But I mean, the lifestyle there is very good.
What do
Very
you mean?
chill.
Okay.
Very not rushing. You know, when you walk. All my friends, like foreigner friends, they say when we gather, they're like, "Don't you think Taiwanese walk so slowly? They gotta speed up their pace." I'm like, really? Okay, but now that I think about it, yeah, they walk quite slow, but it reflects their lifestyle, I guess. They are pretty slow, you know, relaxed, chill. But then I'm like, can you imagine when you walk from in Dhoby Ghaut, right?
Yeah.
From red line to
Mhm,
purple line. You're like,
yes.
and
I'm
across
taking the travelator and walking on the travelator.
But in Taiwan, you're just, you know,
You're just on the travelator.
yes, correct. So that's the standard of living there.
Okay. So what are the more memorable times that you had there within your 1 year?
I guess all the traveling.
Who do you travel with? Your housemates?
One of my housemate and some of my schoolmates.
Okay.
Yeah. So we travel together, like take the train over there. Oh, memorable. Okay, wait. I've thought of one.
Yeah.
It was an earthquake. So whenever an earthquake happens, your mobile phone rings like this screeching, alarming sound. I can't. I think it was just a screeching sound. You have never heard it on your iPhone in Singapore ever before.
Yeah,
Probably.
I mean, I don't even have an iPhone.
Oh,
in the
okay,
first
okay,
place,
sorry,
so
I know all the mobile phones will probably give the alert. I think so.
okay.
So they will. This happened 3 times. I've experienced an earthquake 3 times in Taiwan. More than 3 times or 4 times. The first 2 times, it was just the alarm.
Yeah.
The first time was just the alarm, but I didn't really feel anything.
Okay.
Yeah, or maybe just like a subtle shake. But the second time, wow, it was so loud at 4 a.m. And then I felt everything shake. And it felt like I was on a boat. Like, I didn't know I could get motion sickness
Dude, that
from
sounds so scary.
Right, it was kind of scary. I'm like, why is no one running or like freaking out?
Yeah.
But to them, it's kind of normal. Yeah.
It's
so-
a normal occurrence.
Yeah, correct. So sometimes in class, we will suddenly like, 有没有地震? 现在是地震吗? Yeah, so it's like, there's an earthquake now. Oh, are you guys feeling an earthquake? Very chill.
Oh, you feel? Oh, let's
Oh.
continue with class.
Yeah. Earthquake. You see a light moving? Oh, yeah. Earthquake is happening. So that's the mood behind the earthquake. But then there was one time towards the end of my trip, I mean my life there, I went to this place called Kenting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know whether you heard of it. Must go place. I went to Kenting, and then in Kenting,
肯定要去那边.
对，肯定。
Okay.
Nice one. So, there was a huge wind. I've never seen my weather app on my iPhone show this wind sign as the daily logo icon before.
All right.
Yeah, so it showed that. So the wind was really very strong. Okay, like you're standing and you can feel your body shaking.
Wow.
So, and then when the wind blows, you can hear the windows just like or the doors. Okay, so that I experienced that, right? Then
Yeah.
after that, I went to that place with all the sheeps. I forgot the name of it. Jing something lah.
安静.
Well, if you go there, the place is pretty 安静 I gotta say.
Okay.
Basically, some farm with a lot of sheeps. Okay.
Yeah.
In the mountains.
All right.
And then there was one night I was just lying on my bed, and my friends, we heard this like sound, right? So
Yeah.
I told my friend said, "Is this earthquake?" I say, "No lah, it's just the wind, like, cause there are strong winds that night." Okay,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
raining with strong winds, so I'm like, "Oh, it's just the wind lah." Cause I went to Kenting, and then cause Kenting happened.
That's like a normal thing there, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
So Kenting, it happened like 2 weeks ago, about a week ago, and I heard the thing like right. So I'm like, oh, it's just the wind, probably just outside. Anyway, because we wanted to go stargazing, but we checked the weather app, it was raining very heavily. So I said, oh, it's just wind.
Okay.
And then suddenly, I just like lie down using my phone, and she's like lying down using her phone, right? And she's like, but the sound is a bit long, right? And it's a bit loud, and I feel like it's shaking. I'm like, no lah, it's just the wind. Then she's like, look at the light. So the chandelier was like that. Like, oh my gosh, it's an earthquake. Help me. Oh my gosh, so we were freaking out so bad. It's an earthquake. It's not the wind, it's an earthquake. So we were freaking out, and then after a while it stopped. And I felt sick because
you were moving so much.
yeah, correct. And then I realized
Wow.
that it was pretty serious. But at that point in time, I think because I was in the mountains, so there was no alert.
Oh.
Yeah, but then I went onto Instagram, and
Yeah.
all my Taiwanese friends and all the foreigner friends in Taiwan, they posted up that they were hiding under the table in Taipei because there
Oh,
was a
no.
7.9 magnitude.
That's quite high,
earthquake.
right?
Yeah, and then apparently like plates and everything were dropping also. But here I am, I was like, It's just the
No,
wind.
it's just the wind. It's not earth. It's the wind.
Yeah, exactly. So that was pretty memorable for me.
Wait,
Yeah.
I got a quick question to ask. Why do you hide under the table when there's an earthquake? What's the logic?
I have no idea. I really have no idea. I'm to me it's like if the thing falls on the table, at the end of the day I'll still get crushed.
Yeah, because the table is still going to break.
Right? So I really have no idea. But after the second time I experienced an earthquake, I decided to watch YouTube videos on what to do during an earthquake. Even though the locals seem fine, but I'm like, I'm not fine.
I want to make it back to Singapore alive.
Yes, exactly. Like in Singapore, we don't have any earthquakes, right?
Actually, no, we had.
Once,
There was one recently or last year. But it was quite minor actually.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I guess
but
it's just an earthquake. 有地震吗？对啊，有啊。
ours is not an earthquake. It was an earth trem. What's less mild than a quake? Shiver. It was an earth shiver.
Cold.
Cold. Yeah, the earth was cold. Global warming, but no, the earth is cold.
Yeah, that's about it. Just cold.
Wow. Then were there? Because I guess the next question I have is because you were there alone for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Were there any discouraging moments or moments that you thought, hey, maybe this might not be, where essentially you doubted your own decision to go there?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
So many times I feel like, is this really worth my time? It's a lot of money
Yeah.
and it's 1 year wasted-ish if I don't do well. Plus, every time I call my parents, they're like, 所以怎么样？你的中文有没有进步？
Oh, they talk to you in Chinese.
Yeah. And I'm
Just
like,
to test you.
yeah, correct. And to see whether I am keeping the ball, going
Yeah.
with my conversation.
Yeah.
So, and I just feel like, oh no, am I really made to do this?
Mm.
Like, if I have already committed this much,
Yeah.
seems like I have to really, give my all to this job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So many times I doubted myself. And I don't know, because for me, I feel like the reason why my Chinese deteriorated so much was because I went to poly. And in poly, you really don't use Chinese at all unless you're
Yeah.
surrounded by Chinese friends or those Chinese speaking friends.
Yeah.
So I was afraid that, after 1 year, I improved really, right? Then I come back to Singapore and I talk to friends in English. Then my Chinese will just go back to normal again. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was really concerned about that. Yeah. But I mean, it's pretty cool. Like friends back home will always tell me like, hey, Sharmaine, you've got this. I can't wait to come back and hear you speak Chinese. And like, you're amazing at Chinese, better than me. So yeah, I guess I was pretty encouraged by that. And a lot of people in Singapore told me that I was very, very brave.
Yeah, you were.
I really don't get it. Like, how is it brave? You're just going overseas.
No, but you are committing. It's like what you said. You are dedicating an entire year to go to a foreign country alone just to pick up a language so that you can improve on it. Become what's the word?
Better?
No, like fluent. Oh my gosh, my
fluent,
brain is not
okay.
working. Yeah, like
That's me
fluent
with
at it.
Chinese.
That's even worse. If you want me to speak Chinese, the podcast will never happen. Yeah, but it's definitely brave of you. You're taking a step into the you took an entire journey into the unknown.
Into the unknown. Okay, but yeah, I didn't really see myself as brave because to me it just felt like, it's just an adventure.
Wow.
Or like,
yeah,
it's
that's
just I'm just going traveling, and really, which is then I always like go back to all these people and say like, I don't think it's about bravery. It's about like whether you wanna have fun or not, or like really put yourself out there.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, cause a lot of them when they tell me that I'm brave to do that, then I'll ask back, huh? You don't dare to go overseas alone, meh? Then they're like, no way, I don't dare. Then I say, but if you have a chance, will you do it? Then they say, I will be like on a limbo. So I guess to anyone out there, if you ever think about going overseas to study or just immerse yourself in a culture or just stay there, live there for at least 6 months, I would say just do it. It's really a time for you to learn how to be more independent, and you really get to see what people from other countries I guess, culture and lifestyle is so different from you over here in Singapore. After I went to Taiwan, I felt like, wow, Singaporeans are so blessed. I've never appreciated my government more than I have ever. Okay, I know Singaporeans also a lot of political stuff.
Yeah.
But when you understand my perspective once you've gone overseas. When I tell my friends, they're like, "Oh my gosh, Singapore's like such a great country. You have great government and everything." I'm like, yeah, I guess." Then they're like, "No, you really do. Like everything is so in order. You guys like, I don't know, you don't have like gunning problems and all these kind of thing.
Yeah.
But here in Singapore, you're just
Taiwan
like,
has gunning issues.
oh no, but I have like American friends
Okay.
and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the first thing they say. They always say your country is like amazing. Your system is so good. Your government is so good. Like the way they control the people. So,
The way they control
oh
the
my
people.
gosh. Oh no, am I contradicting myself? But they did ask me, they did ask me like, don't you feel like you're in a regime or like you're being brainwashed in Singapore? Wow. I tell you, throughout the entire time in Taiwan, I was doubting myself. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I a North Korean that has been brainwashed by my government for 24 years?
But it's quite tough to be brainwashed when you have access to like world news, where you can't even go overseas and work and whatnot,
Yeah.
You're not. You're fine.
Yeah, so I came back and I asked my dad the question. And he's like, because my friend asked me, don't you feel like you're being very controlled when you do this, you get fined. You do that, you go to jail.
Yeah.
So wow, I was like debating, right? Am I being brainwashed? Then I came back and my dad said like, then you gotta ask them back. Is that the reason why your country is so much more in a mess
That's true.
compared to Singapore?
Yeah.
It's because we are like wisdom is in knowing when to say no, when to set boundaries, right?
Yeah.
But some countries they don't set the boundaries.
Yeah.
And the people, want to fight the boundaries and like free speech
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm in good hands. Yeah. And of course, when I came back to Singapore, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love my bank system. I love my pay waves. I love my QR codes. And I love
all things cashless, all things admin effective.
Yes. Then that's when I realized that, okay, Singapore is pretty great, you might say.
Wow.
So, yeah. So I always encourage people. Ever since I came back, I would say, if you ever, if there's one thing that you have to do in your life,
Yeah.
in your entire life, is to go overseas to stay for a long term,
Yeah.
at least once. 3 months and, at least
6
3 to
months?
6 months, yeah. At least once in your life.
But what were some of the because like you said, going overseas for that 1 year was definitely expensive. How do you weigh between the financial cons and the other aspects that will benefit you?
Oh, well, that's a tough question. I guess, you gotta be willing to spend the money. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that the money was worth all the experiences that I had, because at the end of the day, I spent over 10K, throughout this entire year.
Wait, but over 10K for the entire year.
Yeah, correct.
Did it bust 20K?
Oh, no. I was pretty budget.
Actually, okay, sidetrack, but that's okay though.
Oh,
Because
really?
for universities, right, when they go on exchange
Mm-hmm.
for like 6 months, they hit 15K.
Oh, just for 6 months.
Yeah, and this might not include your expenses.
Oh.
That's why actually yours for 1 year, dude, it's
Go to Taiwan,
super
guys.
worth it, dude.
Go to Taiwan. It's budget friendly. 100%.
$1.50
Luro fun
Luro
every day.
fun.
Yeah. There are so many foreigners there.
Yeah.
So it really helps. Like they can speak English too. So yeah. And actually I spent 15K in total. Yeah, for 1 year, including my rent every month.
So that is well budgeted, to be
Well,
honest.
budgeting tips. I only withdraw 1,000 per month
For your
for my
daily expenses.
So at the beginning of every month, I'll withdraw 1,000 Sing dollars because there's admin charge when you withdraw money. Because when you withdraw money, they will charge the admin fee according to the exchange rate.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll withdraw $1,000, pay my rent. After I pay my rent, then the rest is for me to spend on food or shopping. So
Wait, 1,000 is enough. Actually, wow, what? Dude.
yeah, so my rent was about 650 or 700.
SGD lah.
Yeah, SGD.
Okay.
So I left like 400, 350 for the month, which is
Yeah.
pretty okay, I feel.
Mm.
Yeah, if I can cook at home, I'll cook. But I wouldn't, if you're living alone in Taiwan, buying groceries and cooking for yourself is pretty expensive. Sometimes eating out is cheaper. So Taiwanese actually say that eating out is cheaper than cooking on your own.
150
Luro.
braised pork rice.
Yes. So it was pretty budget friendly. Yeah. Then if I had money to roll over, then I'll just roll it over to the next month and then withdraw 1K again for rent and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you had to budget your finances before you made the decision to go over?
No, I did not. I only went there and I realized that, you know what? I don't want to be so unfilial and spend all my
Yeah.
parents' money. But
Yeah.
technically, they were for my savings also. So, but then again, the savings, our parents contributed to it. So I didn't want to be so, like anyhow spend,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. So I planned it over there. But I
Okay.
shared my budgeting tips on my YouTube channel. So if anyone wants,
In the link, I guess, below
Yes.
description box.
anybody wants to know, you
Yeah.
can tap on it. Yeah.
Okay.
But it was pretty fun in general. But I wouldn't say like the cons between like the money and
Yeah.
the experience. Okay, maybe. I mean, if you say that someone spends 10 or 15K during six months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I did a lot of traveling too.
Is it cheap to travel domestically?
Yes, you just have to drive or you just have to take the speed rail. I think it's called speed rail. But pro tip, okay, don't take the train. Take the bus.
Oh, why?
Like, it takes, like, for example, so my first time going to Taichung from Taipei, I took the train. It costed me $80 one way, $80 back. Yes, if I'm not wrong, if I can remember correctly.
Okay.
This was 2 years ago. But then I figured out there's something called the bus. Like, it's like a coach. It's like when
Okay.
you go from Singapore to KL.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I only spent like $20. Yeah, to and fro.
But it took longer, definitely, right?
Yeah, I guess. If you take the train 1 hour plus,
Yeah.
take the bus 2 hour plus. It's still okay. I'd
You're-
rather take the bus.
I guess you're spending $60 to save 60 minutes.
Yes, $1 per minute.
Yes.
Yeah, and if you take the train, you still have to take another train into the city. But if you take the bus, it
It
goes
goes
straight into the city. So I would suggest to take the bus wherever you go.
Nice.
The coach. Yeah, I guess.
Okay. So I guess to wrap things up, what was your, I won't say biggest takeaway, but what were some of the things that you learned over the 1 year you spent in Taiwan, other than Chinese? Because we all know you went there to learn Chinese.
Well, I learned that, my life in Singapore is so blessed. Really, I sound like a brainwashed Singaporean, but when you go overseas and when you come back to Singapore, you will really feel that.
Yeah.
Especially for those, I mean, I've heard from friends who went to Europe for exchange and then they come back and they're like, you know what, I waited for 30 minutes for a bus. But in Singapore, it's like, what, you wait for 15 minutes?
And then I still complain.
Yeah, we're already complaining. Like, 15 minutes, wow, takes so long. Or the uncle drives so slow, wait at the bus stop, don't know for what. But yeah, I was really appreciative of my country, I guess. And also just be very conscious and very understanding of other people's culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you wouldn't know it if you're only based in Singapore because your mind is always like, oh, it's just us.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, I get to see, because I'm someone who watches YouTube a lot and like other countries' content a lot. And I thought I knew their culture, but I didn't know it until I actually experienced it. Yeah, like, I don't know, just some things that we did in our lives were just
Yeah.
so different. And I realized that, oh, wow.
Like what?
I think there was one time I was working, and then because my customers are usually from the US,
Okay.
Americans, so I, okay, I don't mean to eavesdrop, but they were talking pretty loudly. So their topic, their topics were always about my free will to speak,
Yeah.
my thoughts on a certain topic or like a certain culture or a certain dress code or a certain influencer's way of living.
Okay.
Like for me and you, we're like, hey, how's life?
Yeah.
Right? We're always talking about life. But for them, they meet up to talk about,
External things.
yeah.
Okay.
Like, hey, do you check out the influencer? Like, what is she wearing? Like, in my opinion, she shouldn't be doing this. She should be doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of. It's not just a one-time occurrence. I've heard so many of such stuff. Yeah, and I guess be nice. Ever since I came back from Taiwan, I always say thank you to the bus drivers. Like once I tap my card, I'm like thank you, or I always say thank you. Like basically, be nice. Singaporeans, what I've learned, Singaporeans are pretty rude.
Yeah, you learn that fast when you work in the service industry.
Yeah, I learned that fast too. But when I was there, I'm like, whoa, there's a world difference. The way they treat people. Yeah. And let me tell you a funny story.
Sure.
Like, I think it's pretty trendy on TikTok that the whole accent thing. Oh my gosh, your accent is so attractive. Is it
Is
not?
it a Dexter Laboratory, the French accent?
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
like,
never mind.
Okay, like there was this person who did a TikTok and saying like someone complimented her on her Singaporean accent. So it's like those whole, oh my gosh, your accent is so attractive. Then after that she switches the clip and then she pronounces certain words, right? Like 13
Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember now.
library,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I literally experienced that.
Okay.
Some guy told me like, oh my gosh, you guys' Singaporean accent is so cute. I'm like, because when I was in Taiwan, I kind of speak in this accent.
Yeah.
Then they're like, your Singaporean accent is so cute. Then I said, but I'm not speaking in my Singaporean accent. You know that, right? And then he said, oh, yeah, I knew that, but I still thought that you guys' accent was very cute. And I said, really? Have you heard of the
Okay.
real thing? Then he's like, yeah. Then I said, okay, for example, you guys say water. We say water. And he's like, yeah, that's so cute. I'm like, cute? Hello.
Hello, that's the real Singaporean.
Yeah, like you think this one cute? This one like Abing, Alien, Solo.
Actually, that's all of us, to be honest.
Yeah.
The way we talk.
So that's one funny thing. But
Wow.
oh, I also learned that I want to speak in a Taiwanese accent.
Sorry,
No,
okay,
no.
to end off the podcast, what is a Taiwanese accent? What does it sound like?
欢迎光临. Okay, every time you go into a shop, they're like 欢迎光临，欢迎快要买要快哦，走过路过千万别错过哦. So how you speak in a Taiwanese accent is like you always use oh, long.
Basically, it sounds like when I walk into Uniqlo and they say, welcome to Uniqlo.
Yes, that's right.
Interesting.
But in Chinese.
Damn.
So why don't you end off with you trying a Taiwanese accent? Tip, use oh, long.
I need to have a nasal voice, right?
Yeah. 谢谢大家谢谢大家听我们今天的 podcast. Oh, they use a lot of English too. They add their English in. So then when they say bye, you can be like,
再见哦.
Yeah. Correct.
I know I try. I know I'm gonna fail, but yeah. Wait, thanks for listening to this episode of the podcast. Hope you guys learned something about going overseas to going overseas to live for 1 year or to like just go and improve yourself. And yeah, if you ever need like a host or need a voiceover, or you just want to know more about living overseas, you can hit up Sharmaine at this is her Instagram.
Sharmaine Lee Pui Pui.
Yeah, and then her YouTube.
Sharmaine Lee.
Okay, yeah, I'll be the link in the description box. Alright.
Okay. 谢谢大家，我们下次再见哦。Bye
Bye.
No, Pierre has to try.
谢谢大家，我们下次再见哦，拜拜。